Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the FQ show. My name is Cal and I'm joined here with Tash and Joe from Lions FC. How are we today?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thanks, mate.
Great to be here. Joe, we've obviously got you on to talk about the upcoming Brisbane Classico between Brisbane City and Lions. So that's a very exciting fixture for this weekend.
Yeah, it's always one you earmark in the calendar, particularly given the history, as I'm sure we'll touch on a bit later. There's a huge rivalry. We got to play them in the Cup last year, which was massive. It's Brisbane City's first home game of the year in their 75th year or 100th year. I don't want to get that wrong. But yeah, it should be a huge occasion and one we look forward to, one as a player you're really keen for.
Yeah, fantastic. And obviously this weekend, just gone, saw the start of the NPL women's season. I'm sure you were well across the results and that sort of stuff there. Unfortunately, your girls, Capalaba went down to the QAS. QAS had a very good start to the season.
Yeah, they started their season off where they finished last year, so that's good for them.
Yep. Yeah, hopefully that shows they have a promising season ahead for them. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
be good.
Someone to look out for this season.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so in the episode today, as always, we'll go through our big moments of the week just gone, preview the week ahead and have a bit more of an in-depth chat with Joe and cover all the action across the state in Queensland for football. All right, starting off with the big moment, or the big moments for the NPL. Knights held to a draw and Olympic keep their winning streak. So Olympic, perfect start, kept intact. A good win for them against Logan. Zach Kierpel 2 goals and King Jelicic.
No real surprises there. With all due respect to Logan, obviously Olympic picking off right where they left off. Quality outfit, quality side, made some quality signings, and Keegan looks unreal. I don't know if you saw his second goal, but taking the mickey a little bit.
Waterworth's team goal, that one.
It's almost like you hope he keeps going because it's awesome, and then he gets picked up by someone, so we don't have to play. But he's taken the league alight this year so far, Knights obviously off to a flyer as well. But Sunny Coast away is one of the hardest trips in the comp, don't get that wrong. So they're a very, very good side up there. And I watched a bit of it and it looked like a pretty intense contest.
Yeah, obviously Penn Power went there for the first game of the season and they didn't leave with any points.
Caught off guard for sure.
Yeah, Sunny Coast Wanderers started their season very well.
Yeah.
And so again, they've taken a massive result against a high-flying Knights side. So
yeah, I think they only lost like 1 or 2. Maybe 1 at home last year. So like they're very, very good at home. Yeah.
The Ballinger Park Fortress.
Absolutely, mate.
If you will. Yeah. Brisbane City also got their season off to a winning start. And Peninsula Power also got up over the Brisbane Roar. So some good results for Penn Power. They're starting to kind of bounce back as well.
Yeah, they look like they found their rhythm. I think that was always going to happen for them. They lost 7 starting players of a back-to-back premiership winning side. So there becomes a real familiarity there with everyone. So they'll be fine, mate. They'll be thereabouts again. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And moving on to the NPL women's competition, which got underway this weekend. As I touched on, QAS getting up over Capalaba. But your big moment for the NPL women's, the South's game against East's.
Yeah, in the last 10 minutes to come back and score 2. I thought Justin had a great, under pressure, he was able to score those 2 goals, crucial goals to take the win, which is good.
Yeah, great start for East in that competition as well.
Yeah, for sure, and Habuda had a great start, scoring 2. But you can't leave her unmarked in front of goals. So
absolutely not. No.
Yep.
They made the finals last year, East, yeah?
Yeah,
They're a really good side.
They actually, towards the back end of the season, they actually just pipped Souths into that fourth position there.
I remember, and I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying this, the last team to beat Lions women's was East.
Yeah.
At Lions as well. That stopped them winning the premiership a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
1-0.
Yeah. So East, have definitely built a solid squad over those years and have kept a lot of that talent.
They retain very well.
Yeah. Adding Sophie Person to that last year has been a great addition to them. So, her scoring 2 goals, getting the season off to a start for them. Yeah. Fantastic for East. So, yeah. And then Lions, your girls, got a great start to get the year. Beck Kirkup and Tegan Riding, what a combo.
They're a class act. And that was without a lot of their W League players as well. Marielle didn't play, Chelsea didn't play.
Yep.
I know Cannon played and Nish played. Coco was still out. But they're actually so good. Like, it's all you can say. But when you see them around training, how they conduct themselves, how much they put into it, like, it's no real surprise. And their coaches are awesome as well. Rob's done a great job, but yeah, they're a gun side.
Yeah. Tegan Riding, Simon was saying on the commentary, she looks to have a bit of extra pace there, and so you were talking about the replacement of Shay Connors, and she was having good service last year. Tegan really gave Beck Kirkup some good service on the weekend.
For sure, she's looking fit, strong and fast. That whole team comes under that banner there. So it's unfortunate that Olympic had them first off the bat, but they're looking strong this season. But it was always going to be a tough game coming up against the Premier winners.
Lions at home is always a tough one.
Yes, it's a big field. It's massive.
Tell me about it.
And also around the grounds, Sunny Coast Wanderers also got off to a flyer as well against Moreton Bay. So fantastic to see. But the big moment of the FQPL 1 competition, Redlands, an absolute massacre against Caboolture away from home. So it was a really big result for them. And Ipswich Knights, Rochdale Rovers, a 4-4 draw, which your old mate Marek Madley scored all 4 for Rochdale.
Yeah, he's he that's what he does, man. He just scores goals. He's done it everywhere. He did it for us, he did it for Power, he did it for Knights, so there's no real surprises there. And I mean, you say that's a shock, but having worked with Graham Harvey, I can tell you right now, mate, Redlands will be fighting for promotion, no doubt about it. But yeah, Marek's off to a fly, which is good for him.
Yeah, I was more in shock that normally Terry Kirkham's side is a bit more sort of defensive minded and would sort of hold off. They ended up going down 6-1. So
that's what happens when you lose Cam Cristani.
Yep. Yeah, former friend there of yours. Sort of friend, obviously, but former teammate of yours. Yes. Yeah. Thunder got up over Sunny Coast and Brisbane Strikers also with the win there. So. And Mitchie, a big away win at Soligenkin.
They started slow, Mitchelton, but I think they've won their last 2. They seem to have found a bit of form, or they just got beat by Strikers and then a big away win, and they won in the cup as well. So I think they're starting to find their stride. They'll be good for sure. Yeah.
Onto the FQPL 1 women's. The big moment there was Peninsula Power stunning South West Queensland Thunder. Massive scoreline there. And then Mitchelton and Pride playing out in a 7-goal thriller. First half thriller.
It was 4-3 at half time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Josh, what were your thoughts on those games?
Oh, it was a good game with the Mitchie versus Western Pride. Having Meg and Abby back for Western Pride would make a big impact on their attacking.
Absolutely.
So you can see that in the result there. But Mitchie was up there with them the whole time. So it was a good game to watch, to be honest. High-scoring game as well. So.
Yeah, a hat-trick to Meg McElligott in the first half. And,
good for her.
And 2 for Kaylee Purifoy. So, a couple of standout goal scorers in that game.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, and that Penn Power side looking quite strong and, a big win at home.
A bit surprised on that result. I didn't think Power would get that many past Thunder. But, for them to go ahead, they're pushing for that promotion spot. So that's good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on to the FQPL 2 in the men's. Service Paradise Apollo obviously keeping on that winning train, but more importantly, Teddy Watson with another 4 goals. That man is on fire.
Scoring for fun, isn't he?
He really is. I think it's 11 or 12 goals in his last 4 games, so that's fantastic for him. And then there were a lot of late goals in this competition. 2 late equalisers and 1 late winner. Late winner for Grange and then equalisers in the Holland Park Wynnum game and Cooma North Star games. So, so much to talk about in those games. I definitely recommend checking out the highlights to capture all those.
Seems like there's a few teams in that division that are capable of taking points. I mean, Virginia got off to a flyer. Taringa were good last year but have struggled this year. Surfers Paradise are flying. Wolves obviously have players like Graham Fife. So, there's a lot of teams that are doing a lot of stuff down there. It looks good.
Absolutely, yeah. And the last one of these, we'll cover the FQPL 2 in the women's. UQ moved to 4 games without conceding a goal. Not just 4 games without winning, it was 4 games without conceding a goal, which is massive, and remain defeated along with Ipswich Knights. So great for the women's teams there, which are really, really going quite well.
Excellent.
Yeah. Looking forward to the weekend, the week ahead. Obviously, we've got the big game, Brisbane City, their first game back at CTM Stadium against Lions. We'll cover that in a little bit more detail, but that features a big Saturday night game. Yeah,
Saturday Arvo, I think. I think it's really good for City to get back to their home. I know, speaking to some of their players, they've been here, there and everywhere with training and they've only played away so far. And watching them, they probably would want more than 3 points, and they probably deserve more than 3 points by the way they've played. But it'll be a huge occasion. They're a massive club with absolute, endless history. And, I guess we're a part of that history. It's always awesome to be involved in those games in the past. And it's, as I said before, it's something you earmark. It's a 1 year earmark in the calendar for sure. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. The other feature match for this weekend, Peninsula Power against Gold Coast Knights. That'll sure to be an absolute flyer. Gold Coast Knights sitting in second and Peninsula starting to come back up, sitting in the middle of the table in sixth. So.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Knights sort of respond from their first, well, not hiccup, but first non-3 points.
Yep.
And obviously Power, as you said, Poljack's smashing it. He's scored like 10 goals in a week, I think, for the 2 league games in the Cup. So it'll be a good test for both sides to see where they're at. Obviously, we've played both of them and both very good teams. So thankfully, one of them's dropping points.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
Now, Tash, the NBL Women's, they actually don't play this week for the Easter break. So a bit of a sort of staggered start for them, which will be a little bit hard. But these are actually catch-up games this weekend. So
Catch-up and Kappa Cup. So that's exciting.
The Kappa Cup. So that's fantastic there. In the FQPL 1 men's, South West Queensland Thunder take on Rochdale Rovers, which is a semi-final rematch from last year. South West Queensland Thunder won't be at Clyde Burkhoff, they'll be at West Wanderers, sort of struggling for a bit of ground availability there. But yeah, so I've been playing at the West Wanderers ground myself. It's it's quite a nice ground. They've got a clubhouse in the top corner there and a good view of the field. So
yeah, cool.
That'll be a good match.
Two heavyweights. Yeah,
and Redlands take on Southside Eagles. So a bit of sort of close-ish game for them to sort of play. So that'll be good. And the FQPL 2 men's, Sanford Rangers host Virginia and Albany Creek take on Holland Park. So the Albany Creek Holland Park game, that'll be a fantastic game.
Yeah,
both sitting second and third in the
Albany
on the
Creek,
table.
class outfit. Albany Creek played against them a few times. Coached well by Alex. Expect them to do really well this year for sure.
Yeah. We've got Carter Glockner in that team. Did you play in it?
He was there just before I left, but have played against Carter before. Good player. Knows where the goal is. So there's no doubt. No surprise he's doing well.
Yeah. I will just have a quick look at the. Obviously, we touched on the no fixtures for the NPL women's there, but we'll have a look at the ladder. There, Lions, QAS, East, Sunny Coast all sitting nice at the top. So, nice way to start. Looking pretty.
Yeah.
And then in the FQPL 1 women's, we moved to that a little bit sort of more interesting there. Brisbane City, Penn Power, Western Pride making up that top 3 with Mitchie in 4th there. As we covered before, yes, in the FQPL 2 women's ladders there, UQ are flying. And also Ipswich Knights both on 12 points. So looking forward to the match where they come up against each other. I'll have to check the fixture schedule to work out when that will be. But
that'll be one to watch for sure.
Absolutely. Definitely. And then, Taringa as well. They made the Capital One grand final last year against Ipswich Knights. So they've been sort of promoted into this league this year. So the fact that they're sitting in 3rd is also quite impressive. So, yeah. Now, Tash, we'll go to you for some Capital Women's Super Cup games.
Yeah.
What's got your eye this week?
Eastern Suburb versus Penn Power is happening tonight. Should be a good test for Power if they want to be promoted. That this is a team that they'll have to compete against next year. So that'll be a good one to watch.
Absolutely. They're obviously filming this this episode on a Thursday. So that is tonight. So by the time this is released, we'll know the result. But you can check the results on the FQ website for those. And also Broadbeach United take on Mitchelton. Yeah,
that's also another match-up again. FQPL 2 Broadbeach looking to be promoted into FQPL 1 and they're versing Mitchelton. So that's another game as well to see where they sit.
Broady actually won the competition last year, the Capital League, Brisbane Women's Premier League last year. They won that at a bit of a canter, to be honest. They had a really good year last year, so that'll be a very big test to sort of see how they can match it against a pretty solid women's outfit in Mitchelton. So
they're a strong side, but they've taken a loss at the beginning of this season and a couple wins. So their
sort of mixed bag for them so far.
Their season hasn't started off probably how they expected, but there's still a long way to go. So.
Yeah, still a lot to play for, and cup matches they are different. So
so get up for the cup.
Yeah, get up for the cup. That's absolutely it. All right, Joe, let's have a bit more of a chat just on you. Obviously, we've talked about the game ahead this weekend. And the Brisbane Classico, I'm not sure too many people might not sort of know the reasonings behind its name. But basically, it was the Brisbane City and Brisbane Lions, Azuri and Hollandia, as they were called back then, were the two foundation clubs from Queensland in the NSL in 1977.
Mm-hmm.
So this rivalry dates back a long time. As a player who's fairly recently, in the last few years, come to Lions, how do you sort of embody this rivalry? It's formed so long ago.
Yeah, it's a good one. So like whenever you go there, obviously you see the big Italian flag. We've got the Dutch club right next to ours. So where I think anyone that plays for both sides is very aware of the history of their own clubs.
Yep.
And you know, whenever we play Brisbane City or whenever we have in the past, our staff or the old boys, particularly considering that most of our staff are Lions old boys, they sort of go through some stories or games, historical moments, if you like, that have happened between the two teams. And it's awesome. Like it's so good. Like there's newspaper articles, there's like some of the videos we see, and actually sometimes just even speaking to some of the old boys around Lions, like it's a bit different now, but back then it was just like, who do you play for? Lions. Who do you hate? City. You know what I mean? So like there was always that rivalry there. Darren makes sure to mention that he's got some great stories of his own against Brisbane City.
Fantastic.
And it's awesome. I think it shocked everyone when they went down. And
absolutely,
they're a huge club. They deserve to be in the NPL, and I think they're good enough to be challenging high in the NPL for the title, for all the titles. They have that squad, they have that coach, they have the club. So they're back where they belong. And as a player, you just love playing big games. That's why you play. You play big games, and this is as big as they get in terms of history and rivalry for us.
Absolutely.
You say you have those stories. Do you prepare differently for this game compared to others?
Well, the 70s and the 80s are a bit different to now.
Yeah.
But you don't really prepare. I mean, at the end of the day, there's still a job to do. We're all very aware, and the atmosphere, you can definitely feel it. We played them in the Cup last year, and that whole City Grandstand was full.
Yes.
And we had, it's proud to see half the grandstand was orange. And there's always a bigger crowd at our place when they come as well. So you've still got a job to do. We still prepare to win the game how we think we can. But it does, it's not really hard to get up for that one, if that makes sense. You don't really need extra motivation to get up for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Brisbane City had an absolutely fantastic year last year. Obviously, it was a shock to a lot of people when they went down at the end of 2020, but they made a point of wanting to come back straight away and did not drop a single point. Went through fairly deep into the cup, came up against yourselves.
Yeah.
They've obviously improved their squad as well overall. So, what do you make of City's squad this year?
I think when they went down, they made their intentions very clear in the QPL by signing who they did.
Yep.
Daniel Bowles, Fraser Hills, of the likes. Brandon Reeves. These players, Scott Halliday. These players are like the NPL players or higher. Do you know what I mean? Like Bowles is one A-leagues. Fraser is one of the best players in our league now, and he was last year as well. He's class. So their squad on paper, you just look at their backline alone: Bowlesy, Matt Smith, Luke Plummer, Jackson Simpkins.
Yeah.
They're players that are NPL standard or higher. So we're under no illusions it'll be easy. They're a quality squad, and if we're being really lucky, it was a crazy game in the Cup last year. We got a little bit lucky with the penalty that we got. Moving on a year now, it's okay to say. But we got the rub on them last year. As I said, it was a great occasion. So, look, I'm just really looking forward to it. And it's good that they're back because it makes our league stronger.
Absolutely, yeah. It is the first game back at CTM for the men's. The women's have played there a couple of times last week at least against Virginia. Ticket sales are actually gone online this year to sort of help out with them at the gates. So we'll have a link in the description and across our channels and Brisbane City's channels as well, where you can go and get tickets. I think it's only like $5 to go in, and it'll be a fantastic game to get some pizza, get some beer, get in the grandstand, and that's.
What more do you want for your Easter? I don't know. What more do you want for your Easter Saturday? Pizza, beer, and footy.
It's a fantastic game there.
Yeah.
For the full chat with Joe, make sure you listen to the audio version of this, or we'll put it out as an FQTV extras. We've only sort of featured a couple of questions just in the main segment of the show here, but we had a bit more of an in-depth chat with Joe just before. So make sure you head to our channels and check that out across the weekend, across the Easter break. And the big match against Brisbane City, make sure you get tickets to that. Information can be found on our website and across our social channels. So make sure you tune into that. Moving on to the regional roundup. Obviously tonight, Thursday filming again, yes. Tonight we've got Mareeba United against Edge Hill United up in Cairns. They're actually playing in the Far Northern Golf qualifier in round 5 of the Australia Cup. So it'll be interesting to see who progresses there. Obviously Edge Hill probably the favourites. They came through. They were the northern representative for us in the round of 32 last year. So an exciting game.
Those are old NPL sides of like Cairns and the Heat FC. They all sort of, and like the Townsville ones, they all play for those teams. So it's always keep a keen eye where they end up because they were quality when they were in our league. So it's no surprises that teams like Edge Hill go far in the comp.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The winner of that match will progress through and play MA Olympic in the northern sort of qualifier there. And then they'll go on to play the winner of the with Sunday Coast, Central Coast and Wide Bay sort of regions. So still a bit to work out across those ones. Speaking of MA Olympic, they hosted Edge Hill. Speaking of them, MA Olympic actually hosted Edge Hill in the Kappa Women's Super Cup in round 4 last weekend. Despite a bit of a late comeback from MA Olympic, Edge Hill ended up winning that one 4-3. So that was a fantastic game to watch. Edge Hill nearly had it, but just couldn't quite. Olympic nearly had it, but just couldn't quite get that equaliser. So
it's always a tough one. Those games.
Yeah,
that's why the cup's so good though. 4-3, last minute winners. It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Moving down to the Whitsunday Coast, we had a top of the table battle between Magpies FC and Magpies Crusaders United, with Magpies FC winning 4-2. The Magpies Crusaders team is actually the under-23s team that sort of underpins the FQPL 1 side. They play in the local comp there. So, it was actually a top of the table clash, a Magpies derby, if you will. So, both playing at the same home venue there at Soligenkin. A good result for the Magpies there, who will no doubt stay at the top of the table there. Moving down to the Central Coast, Frenchville played against Clinton in the grand final rematch of last year, with Frenchville edging out 2-1. And they keep a perfect start to the season. So they've got a fantastic setup up there at Frenchville. Have you ever played up?
I haven't gone. I've not Frenchville, but I've heard a lot of good things. A couple of the boys we used to play with prior from that neck of the woods, and Frenchville's obviously a big club in that region. So yeah. Yeah,
nice. Yeah. Moving into your neck of the woods, you said you had a few mates from the Centenary Stormers side who played out in a 7-5 thriller against Bayside United, which was the upset of the season.
It's a FIFA game.
FIFA game, yeah. Bayside actually were yet to concede a goal in this competition, so the fact that they conceded 7 to Centenary,
in 1, it's huge. Yeah, it is massive, but up the Stormers. Love to see it.
As an Oxley player myself, maybe not so much. No, maybe. That concludes the regional roundup there. Into the Kappa Women's Super Cup, we've obviously covered the games that are happening this weekend. So the feature games, but we've got quite a big spread. Robina City and Pine Hills, they had to replay their round 2 matchup because last weekend they were playing. Last week they were playing.
The lights went off mid-game.
The lights went off in the penalty shootout for the decisive pen.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, what do you even do there? Do you just go back and take the one pen, or does the whole game have to retake?
It's actually they down at the Gold Coast, the council controlled the lights, and so they had absolutely zero control over the lights.
Oh, wow.
And so the lights actually went off at 10:15 when they thought they were going to go off at 10:30.
Right.
So, Pine Hills had missed their last pen, and Robina City were just about to take their pen. Nothing. No. So that match actually had to get fully replayed at Wakeley Park. That was played on Wednesday night.
That's a tough ask. Going through a whole game and making it to penalties and then having to replay
the last one as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
They didn't play extra time. They went straight to pens, still,
it's another game in your body.
It is, absolutely.
Thank God they have a weekend off, right?
Your girls, they played on the Wednesday night, last night for us.
Had a field day.
little scare early, I believe, 1-0 down. But then, I was actually speaking to them on Monday night at training, asking whether they were sort of going to rest. But I think because of the no fixture this weekend, it's still important that they get minutes in the legs.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's still there's a couple of unbelievable 15-year-olds in that team that do not look out of place at that standard. So I think they played, and obviously the big dogs keep scoring. Tegan, Beck, Amy.
Tegan with 5. That's unreal.
It's a standard day in the office for her, or one of them, so it seems. But no, good to see them go through. Obviously, they're the holders of that cup.
Yep.
We were all there last year at City for the final against Pride. It'd be cool to see if they could go back to back and do it again.
Yeah.
Lions have a really great squad, so the girls do, and you, the men, are building that.
It's intimidating, man. Like, they're just such a good side. Yeah.
Yeah, just a powerhouse of Lions. Moving around the rest of the fixtures, South United actually play Brisbane City, which was actually our first Capital Women's Super Cup game of the year last year. So
rematch.
And same tie as well. South with the home team. So
new players in both teams though, so it's going to might be a different result this time.
Brisbane City women's look good. Hey, they've started the season well, but I know they have ambitions to get back up as quick as possible with that top league.
100%. I think it'll be a great game.
Yeah, absolutely. Virginia host Sunny Coast Wanderers and Eastern Suburbs Penpower, as we mentioned. So they're all games that are happening tonight. So you'll be able to check the results to those via our website and across our social channels. And then, right across the weekend, we're going right down through to Tuesday with games there. So make sure you check out our channels again for all of those. Just before we finish off, the under-20 FQ Northern and under-16 Australian select side actually playing tonight as well. Big night tonight, really.
Massive weekend, actually.
Kicks off the good weekend.
Yeah.
A long weekend.
So the Joeys have been up there with the National Talent ID camps up in Townsville. So that's been fantastic that those players can sort of see that pathway. Townsville hosted a massive sort of week of football up there. Obviously, they had the Matildas late last week, then hosting these national
really
camps,
coaching
courses, referee courses, etc. It's been going off up there. So
school clinics
as well. Yeah,
it's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. So shout out to Townsville, leading the way up in the north up there. So it's been good to see. That's just about it for this. But before we go, I'd like to just maybe get us to select a player to watch for this weekend across maybe one of the bigger games.
One of the bigger games. All right, in our game, we'll definitely be watching Fraser Hills. I think he's had a great start to the year, so he's definitely one for we watch. And then in the other featured match, hard to go past Anthony Poljak. Scored 10 goals in 3 games during the week. So obviously in a heavyweight comp, I'm sure Knights will firmly be keeping tabs on him as well.
Very great shout there. Poljak has been in really good form, as you touched on earlier in the show. But hoping to see that. And who's got the task of marking Fraser this week? Or is that confidential?
Probably me or Sean. And he's friends with both of us. So,
no wonder you want us to watch him, eh?
Yeah, so I'll be watching closely.
Have to put the friendship aside for 90 minutes.
I couldn't do that. Friends first always.
Stevenson from Brisbane City for me.
Yep.
I think she'll give South's backline something to look out for up front. So I reckon she might score a couple up there.
Yeah, we'll talk about the explosive pace of Alex Fechner, but someone who could probably rival her is Kai Stevenson. She is absolutely rapid and very good with the ball at her feet too. So,
Yeah, she's exciting to watch. She'll be someone to watch all season. So.
Yeah. For me, look, it's been called out a little bit, but got to give a shout out to the FQPL league as well. I think the match of the round in that is the Thunder Rochdale game. So my player to watch will be Mirko Crociati, the captain and centre back for that Thunder side. He has to try and contain Marek Madley, who's coming off the back of a four goals. So he'll have a task, but I'm sure he'll be absolutely up for it. So all the best to those boys there. Joe, thanks for having coming on the show.
Anytime.
It's been great having you here, chatting, and like I said, a great insight. And Tash, as always, thank you.
Thank you, Cal. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No worries. Well, for all updates, all information, make sure you head to our social channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc., or our website as well. So, enjoy and hope you have a good and safe Easter long weekend. Till next week. See ya.